I want to build a treehouse. I want to argue about the best way to do it. I want to get mad at you because you measure the wood wrong and we have to do extra. I want to fall into your arms in exhaustion after hours and hours of planning and preparing and building, and confess to you that I also fucked up because the nails that I thought we needed are not the nails we need after all. And you give me shit because I gave you shit, and it will be funny. And you will tell me it's okay, and the next day we'll be at it again. I want to get sad and needy when we finally finish it, and it's perfect because it's imperfect, and it's full of our stories. And now that it's finished, you want to do other things, but I want to paint it and decorate it, and you don't see the point. I want to fight about that, because it's so important to me and not to you, except it becomes important to you because it's important to me. And in the end, we compromise that 2 days a week, you'll help me paint and choose cushions, and we'll even find a little rug to put in there, which you think is so pointless, but which I love, and you love me for loving those things because you would never care about them otherwise. I want to feel so proud of our stupid little treehouse that I stare at it whenever I feel low, and I remember that we are an unstoppable team. We made a fucking house in the sky in a park. We're amazing, and it will make everything else in the world feel doable. It will be the thing that makes everything else feel okay. I really want to build a treehouse. Thank you. Dedicate that one to my wonderful, gorgeous boyfriend sitting in the front, being a judge. Yeah, let's clap for him. I love that. I do want to build a treehouse also, babe, so if you could get the materials, that would be really nice. Okay. Words used to sit in my throat like unused stationery gifted to 5-year-olds who'd hope for electric cars in neighborhoods where the lottery jackpot is anyone's hope to ever have healthcare. They'd climb out in a desperate moment of need, bleeding all over my pristine pages, making no sense to anyone but creating stories for us all. Now, my words don't stand so tall. Perspective gave way to acceptance, and let me tell you, acceptance doesn't have much to say. Acceptance is very much just, okay. Understanding used to drive my curiosity to the brink of insanity. It would tap, tap, tap at me unforgivingly, asking questions that didn't even need to make sense. It was a crazy quest, hence my change in behavior. I realized we were told to accept, not understand our neighbor, so I did myself a favor and gave up the questions. Thanked my exes for the lessons. Now I don't seek answers I sought and fought to possess. I can love a lot more knowing a lot less. Unless you're only out to impress, I can accept all that we each are, every scar, even if we aren't quite ready to undress yet. I no longer need to see what's coming next. Safety used to be a myth, waving on a horizon I wasn't sure even existed. I was the 13-year-old buying into all the propaganda, and some days I regretted enlisting. I needed space to heal, but no one seemed to be listening. Promises sat on my peripherals glistening, while I was left wishing they'd climb into my mouth and make themselves real, turn into something I could feel, but no. Home is not what could be. It is simply being fine with what is. All the love I waited for has climbed out of my mouth, found a place on my lip, and waits in endless patience to give away its next kiss. Thank you. It took a long time to learn how to say, I don't want to be alone. I learned first with my words, but the actions didn't follow. I'd say, I don't want to be alone, as I watched the calls ring out on my phone. I'd say, I don't want to be alone, then argue extensively about things that didn't matter with my loved ones at home. I'd say, I don't want to be alone, then change my number, move country, and be like, no one can tell me what to do, I'm fully grown. It took me a long time to learn how to say, I don't want to be alone. Because each time I tried, my father's voice would chime inside my head, louder than mine. How strong you are. Tech issues. How strong you are. You don't need anyone, you're just like me. And I so wanted to be like someone. I so wanted to be like my grandmother too, who never abandoned the soil that birthed her, not for war, not for medicine, not for the promise of more, because her country and her were one in the same, too connected to separate. But see, even that connection, it took her life away, so who am I to say I don't want to be alone? I would say I don't want to be alone and at the same time believe in strength of solitude. The death of my grandmother still fresh. I remember the day that phone call came. Where was I? I was on a plane. Well, life goes on, as they say. And if I could just sit alone with my thoughts and be okay, wasn't that brave? Wasn't that strength? Wasn't that courage? All the things that I want written on my grave? It took me a long time to learn how to say, I don't want to be alone. Since bravery was synonymous with solitude, the fight was consuming. No one is ever proud of not knowing what they're doing, but the truth is, we're all just out here assuming our own perspective is somewhat a good one, with our somewhat universal rules. Balance life with work life with fun, don't hurt your loved ones. We cook dinners, we buy flowers, we swallow our words, we take deep breaths, but there comes a point where there are no gestures left. It's just one soul with another, just energy, just love. And I don't want to be alone. Those are just words. And those words are not good enough. I don't want to be alone, but you were in hospital and I never showed up. I don't want to be alone, but all the happiness I share with you is just a bluff because I'm hiding all the parts of me that I think won't be easy. I don't want to be alone, but I alone hold the dark shit that's inside of me. I hold it way up, above, and out of reach, out of your line of sight, to protect you from the pain that I think you might be better off without. It's protection, you see. I hide my bad parts away so that we can still be a we. I can protect you, even if I can't protect me. That's what I have to offer. That's my courage. That's my bravery, to shield you from the pain that's made a slave of me. But how does that feel for you? Ooh, I don't know, I hadn't thought about it. I thought that maybe you don't think about it because I don't talk about it so that we can live without it. I guess I was wrong about it. I don't want to be alone. But when I cried and you offered me a hug, I said no. I don't want to be alone, but when you were waiting for my call, I was out fucking, telling you nothing, giving others my bad moods because you only deserve the parts of me that are loving. I don't want to be alone, but I'd rather build a cigarette and run to the balcony and then tell you what's really going on inside of me. I need us both to believe that my smile alone is enough to sustain our love so that you won't leave. I need. Oh, but what do you need from me? Honesty? But I never lie. Okay, I protect you from my own pain, but there are things we all hide, don't we? It took me a long time to learn how to say I don't want to be alone because I forgot to say it to myself first. I don't want to be alone. I want connection. And that goes both ways. It matters how I'm feeling, not just how I behave. That's why it's so healing. The bad shit that I held up high, out of sight, that was over our heads the whole time, both yours and mine. I'd never realized the entire time that my life, my love, felt like a bomb. I thought I was shielding people, but I was damaging them all along. Because when we are loved, when we truly are, we feel each other's pain. We feel every emotion that passes, even if we don't give them names. So if you don't want to be alone, that's great. But connection is not a game to be played. Connection is sharing our whole hearts, however much they weigh, and knowing we're both still there, good and bad, is okay. It took me a long time to learn how to say I don't want to be alone. And now when I do say it, I say it real slow. It sounds like me arriving at your place with some groceries to cook. It sounds like me reading your favorite book. It sounds like me choosing your favorite comedy show just to hear you laugh. And it sounds like me putting us both first so that you don't have to try to understand why I'm always putting myself last. Thank you.